This is Sean
Yeah.
from Engearment.com's podcast coming at you live from our home gym. We got Russell Cunningham, the Sultan of Stoke. Woo! Out in Washington State from the Mobile Karakoram office.
Mobile Karakoram office.
I love it. I love it. Well, Russell, welcome to the show. It's always a pleasure to see your face and your hairy beard and all the greatness about your beauty. And look at you have great, better weather than we have. You got blue skies in Washington.
Oh, dude, it's sick. Yeah, it's like beautiful. It's a perfect day, actually. I don't know why I'm not out climbing Mount Rainier right now. It's like,
yeah,
dude, it'd be like such a good corn cycle right now.
Oh,
we had pretty good precipitation about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cold 2 weeks ago, and so then it got really warm last week, but overnight it's getting really cold still. So I think actually it's probably still a little chilly for like high altitude, good volcano corn. It's probably bulletproof on the upper mountain. yeah. It'd probably be like really scary right now, but maybe like 10 more degrees of spring warmth. I think we're getting pretty close to like steeps time.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so envious and appreciative of it. Right. I personally, I chose to like lock down middle of March, I have a lot of friends that are nurses and doctors, and I just didn't want to add to their stress by me being a recreational person making questionable decisions sometimes. And then also being a leader of, you're part of the backcountry community in a very large way. And we got a group out here with like 8,000 people in it. So it's really easy to post something or have major influence over people. And lead by example, like hopefully doing the right thing.
Yeah, I've had a lot of conflicting thoughts around it, and I think like it's a damn interesting period we're living through. I think like I think on the topic of like outdoor activities, it's like so far we haven't gone like full government intervention. Like right now, I was just emailing with one of our ambassadors, Julian Harry, and he's in Chamonix. And right now they have police helicopters flying through the Alps, catching people going mountain climbing and swooping down and arresting them and plucking them off high elevation glaciers and taking them to prison. It's like, holy shit.
That's next level. I didn't know
I'd be like, it's, this is a really serious situation, but at the same time, like outdoor activities are really, really good for people. And I think from a public health standpoint, it makes a lot of sense to me to just ban outdoor activities from a population standpoint. But selfishly, I think like it's totally still possible to go do things outdoors and be mindful of the situation, don't need to go build a road gap in Session Baker Road Gap, but like, I think getting out for a little walk in the snow when you're still not touching other people.
Yeah, that's the key part.
Yeah, I don't know. It's complicated, isn't it?
Oh, it's so tricky. I'm glad we're openly talking about it because I'm so conflicted too because, me, I'm in the mountains 3 days a week. If I'm not, I'm an asshole, right? That's my job. I take people to the mountains. I test gear in the mountains. I break shit in the mountains. I train for the mountains. I got a mountain fitness course. Like, wrote the book on splitboarding. It's right there, like next to your JP Roberts' awesome artwork, like that's what we do, right? So, but I guess the beautiful part of it is I like suffering also, which sounds really horrible, but like Sufferfest, but this is like a new kind of Sufferfest. Oh, my dog wants to say hello. There's Riley. Yeah. And I think going without something, like I don't do Lent, I'm not religious, but like this is like super Lent, right? Like I gave up the mountains and I gave up my recreation. It makes me more appreciative and grateful because now my wife and I spend every moment together. She's got her home office on their side of this wall. I'm in my office in the fitness center here. It's groovy. I dig it. I get to talk to people like you way more often because we're like, what's the Zoom?
People have time.
They have time, And I think it makes us all appreciate what we have and what we will have again. But yeah, I miss it. I really wish, like, you have a great setup there. That is.
Oh, awesome. Dude, yeah. We're lucky because if it's nice weather with our tiny cabin, like, we have infinite space. It's
Right.
when the weather like locks right down, it sometimes can get a little cabin fevery, but
I bet.
yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
want to pick your brain about that. Never Summer started making tiny homes, and right before the lockdown here in Denver, like, hey, come grab this tiny home to go take to the mountains. It's beautiful.
Never Summer did?
Yeah, can you believe that?
Wow.
Oh, I know, right?
Cool.
Yeah, Vince and the guys were like, hey, Sean, come grab this, do the exclusive Engearment video review on it. I'll send you a link. It's gorgeous. You would get a kick out of it. I'd like to see what you think about it. But yeah, I mean, do you have any secrets on how to be a married couple with a dog and a tiny home?
Yeah, you have to really like your spouse.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think Rebecca and I do really well with it. I think because we struck gold with each other in a way. Like our temperaments are really compatible. Think back to like previous relationships. There's like no way in hell.
Right.
It totally depends. But also, like you kind of have to just like fully dedicate yourself to it. When we first moved into the tiny house, there was like some, a little anxiety, like, shit, is this going to work? Like, is this just going to be like permanent camping and kind of feel like poverty and just kind of unhealthy? But
yeah,
those, the minute I had a hot shower running and like we had hot running water, I was like, okay, shit's gonna work, dude. Like,
yeah, that was the last bit of comfort right there, and it worked.
Yeah, hot shower. There's something about a hot shower. If you don't have that, it's not a real house.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
And a comfortable bed. Yeah,
that makes a big difference.
Yeah, we have a king size like Tempur-Pedic in there, so it's like just full stretch, full sprawl. So
that's great.
Tiny house, but we got some pretty good. We overcompensate for space.
Right. That's some good priorities to have. You're going to spend a lot of time in bed doing a lot of things. It's good to have a good one.
Totally.
Oh, that's awesome. I was trying to think. I just got sent from Yakima. They just acquired a company that makes these mobile water solar showers, basically, right? So I have 4-gallon steel tube on the side of my 4Runner. And it's funny because it actually got cold here this week, and I was camping on the deck. Yeah, it was beautiful snow. And I didn't realize it, but I made a 4-gallon icicle. So like it's starting to melt. I'm driving to some place today to the store, and it's just like this horrible, loud, clanking sound as I'm going over bumps. Can you imagine how big of a cylinder and how dense that icicle is?
Damn.
Yeah, but it's got this cool little hose attachment on it, so then we can have a hot shower when we're camping. That's important.
Cool, man.
What do you do for power? Like, do you use solar? Oh, did I freeze on you? I froze. There.
Yep. There we go. There
Technology. We go. All good. So I was asking, do you use solar on your tiny home?
Not yet. We are wired for it, and we have a dual battery deep cycle system. And right now we just charge it off of the grid. But we could totally just put a solar system up there and plug it right in. It's all set up for it. I think at this point we're the only excuse is laziness.
That's honest. That's great.
Yeah.
There's so much I don't know about solar. I know solar for like recharging headlamps and little gadgets, but solar for a tiny home. Where do you even start? Like, what do you look for?
So the really cool thing about the tiny house is already, even though we're on the grid, from a power consumption standpoint, the only thing that is that wind really loud on your end, by the way?
No, not at all.
It's a little windy here. The only thing we're really drawing a lot of power on, I think, is our traditional refrigerator. Other than that, our stove is plug-in propane. Our hot water is on the fly propane. All the lighting in there is LEDs. Smart. And we have USB plug-ins in the walls, so we just plug our phones or whatever into it, so it just charges on the spot. So our power consumption is really, really low, all things considered. I do have a computer in there, but we don't leave it on all the time. Water consumption's, I think, probably lower than a normal house.
I would assume so, yeah.
That's been really cool, man. I think our environmental footprint's dramatically reduced. the only thing I do now, I think that's like damaging, is this damn thing.
The runner. Look at that.
Yeah. So it's a gas burner, but
but
yeah,
what?
the plan is it's going to be the last gas vehicle I own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that 4Runner. I'm a 4Runner fan myself.
Yeah.
You know,
Toyota enthusiast.
a little bit. They get the job done, but yours is bad.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. What do you got going on to that thing?
So it's like, oh, here's Kinsey. What's up, Kinsey? Say hello to Engearment.
Hey, Kinsey.
Have you met Kinsey? I'm not sure you've met Kinsey.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, the runner's sick, dude. It's yeah. Like, what do you want to know? I mean, it's kind of my
everything. Like, do you have a supercharger on that one?
Yeah. So it's a 1993 4Runner with a engine conversion to a Toyota 3.4 liter V6 with the TRD supercharger, and then I threw in a 7th fuel injector. The whole drivetrain has been completely rebuilt, upgraded transmission with an older style gear driven transfer case. So basically it's like mechanical 4-wheel drive that I don't have to worry about electrical systems breaking. So I just literally pull a lever and it's in 4x4. It's got a long arm kit up front, so it's long traveled.
What?
Yeah, here, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that part.
Yeah. Just got the winch all set up, so that's been kind of nice. I have a little bit more time. So I got a little come up winch.
Look at
got
that.
loads of ground clearance.
Whoa.
It fucking screams too. It'll do like 100 miles an hour, easy.
I hit 85 one time in Texas. That scared the shit out of me.
So I just rebuilt this rear end. I did this like modular bumper system. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Like Mad Max.
I thought I was going was like shit ton of clearance under the rear.
Yeah.
There we go. And then I went with this like Wilco off-road swing out tire carrier.
Nice.
So yeah, no, it's been cool, man. It's really designed to be like snowboarder's truck to smash through as deep of snow as possible.
Yeah.
But also just nerd out because off-roading's fun as hell.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. I dig that.
Yeah, so that's the truck, man.
That's nice, man. Mine's a stock TRD 2018 with a lot of gear in it. A lot of gear.
Fifth gen.
Yeah, fifth generation.
Highly capable rig, man.
Yeah, for sure. I've only got stuck once, and it was this year. And I was on a snow road, and I got out of the way for some sledders to get past me, and I just went off and just got stuck.
Oh, shit.
About 20 minutes.
You got a rear locker in there, right?
I think so. Yeah, I got out on my own.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, more than anything, I'm always towing people out. Like I've got 2 sets of tow straps. People where we like to go splitboarding are always getting stuck. Every time I go camping on a Friday night, I'm waiting with my tow straps and a drink in my hand, knowing that somebody from out of state is going to try and drive up the road and really shouldn't. And I'll be like, please don't do that. I don't want to tell you. Please don't do that. I'm going to go for it. All right.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, pull them out.
No, I'm stoked. I just put on this 9,000 pound winch. So that I feel like finally makes it legit. But
yeah, you are.
Yeah. Good. Let's chat snowboarding. How's your season been?
You know, it was a great season. It ended a little bit early, obviously, for everybody. But it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed I love seeing the stuff at OR. Those new skins you guys have I'm just cannot wait about that. What else? Never Summer Stuff, working with them on the new Swift for next year. They made me an Atom 165 wide. Sweet board. Yeah, I know it's not probably your guys' style because it has a little bit of rocker, but
the like the C2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So real good in powder, real good turn initiation. What else has been good? I got the new 32 boots. I don't know if you saw that.
Cool. Yep.
There's a lot of stuff on there I think you would like. Some things that probably aren't necessary. But other than that, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, nothing too crazy. I don't do crazy lines. In fact, this year I got a nickname called Mild Salsa. Because I know, right? I'm like, all right, I'll own it.
Not even medium salsa? Oh,
I know, right? Not chunky, corn, mango.
Yeah.
Nothing. But it's true. I'm all about having fun in the mountains, taking friends up or going solo, and just recharging the soul and just being present. So yeah, nothing hit list wise, nothing monumental, just beautiful days in the mountains with friends. How about you, man?
Yeah, it's a weird year. See, I had a knee injury in the fall. Had a meniscus tear. So that was a little bit. So my lift riding this year was really minimal, which has been an interesting change because, like, I'd say like I was super splitboard mountaineering focused for like forever, and then the past, I'd say like 4 seasons, I've been like kind of went back to the drawing board and like wanted to focus on just pure snowboarding and get back into the game of like really like kind of training for snowboarding and like get, you know, really like see if I can still progress and become a stronger, better rider. And I think the answer to that question was yes, you know, so yes, definitely shredding a lot of chairlifts this past 4 years, but still touring in there. But I think my my priorities have shifted a little bit, you know, like I'm not as focused on like really dangerous riding, which I think is good. You know, there's a lot to live for in life, and I think like picking and choosing lines that are sustainable versus maybe not quite so sustainable. That's been an interesting transition, and I'm having a little bit of an identity crisis around it.
I bet,
like, like, oh man, you're just turning into a big pussy, you know. But
you're a married
I don't know,
man.
like just so this season I just focused on skinning a ton and really just pushing the fitness side of it. And honestly, the weird thing about working in the industry is like everybody knows me. Yeah. And so being like a mild introvert, it kind of freaks me out sometimes.
I respect the heck out of that for sure.
I've just been like wearing black and going solo skinning a ton.
Yeah.
And I did get like a couple pretty sick lines this year. My boy Colin at Karakoram and we went and rode this really cool, like 50 plus degree spine off of like this variation off of some local terrain. Wow. Maybe like 6 weeks ago at this point, or 5 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, you sent me a picture of that. We were gonna meet up that day and chat, and you're like, "Here's where I am."
Oh yeah. That was cool.
Yeah.
I had a pretty funny little failure. There's this one terrain feature that it's called the Snot Couloir off Snoqualmie Mountain. So there's this real famous line called the Slot Couloir, and then the one below it's called the Snot, also known as Not Slot. So it's nicknamed Snot. So anyway, like there's this photograph I've always wanted to get of a snowboarder on this head wall. And it's like this probably 50, it's probably just a solid 50 degrees, probably not steeper than that, but there's some exposure below. And we went up there this one day and I was like, all right, you guys, we're going to post up proper photographer. We had like our buddy Matt Pugh up there with like a big camera and tripod and everything. I was like, all right, so we're posted up and you go ride the line. So then I got into it. It turned out to be like fucking bulletproof. Like it's just like it's so bad. This is like, oh no, this is really not good. So had an interesting reminder about like decision making and paying attention to details, like because it would have been, the snow was weird that day, like visually the conditions look good, but I have enough experience at this point to know not to just dive into head walls without really doing a couple setup turns to like really feel it, you know? So that was good because I went in on my heel edge and got one turn in and it just like flipped to like really pretty serious conditions. Like it would have been several 100-foot fall, I think. But anyway, it was like interesting, like to have to transition to crampons and climb back out of the thing.
Oh, how humbling. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like that mountaineering shit's fun, dude. Like even though it's sketchy and like technical, it's like I don't know. It's a fun game, you know. It's definitely nothing better than like bombing down a line in perfect stable snow, though. You know.
Yeah. I like mild salsa. You like crampons.
Yeah. It's changing for me though. I'm changing. I will say my buddy Bagels, he managed to. Again, this goes back to the ethics discussion about whether or not we should be out in the mountains right now. And way up north in the wilds of Washington State, the attitudes are a little different than they are down here in the Seattle area. So had a couple friends tag a really, really big line on a certain peak in the North Cascades a few days ago. And he sent me some photos, and I was just like, oh, God damn it, I'm so jelly. Like, oh, what am I doing with myself? I'm just blowing it here. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I totally feel you on that. You know, I actually have a background to remind me sometimes. I'll put it up. It's one of my favorite places ever, and I think you'll know it. Boom.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I know that.
Woo!
That's, you know, very lower courtesy, glacierish looking to me.
Yeah.
Sick.
That was a good time. I miss that.
There's actually, go back to that. There's a big face in there I want to get.
Oh yeah, we get back.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, hit that. Put that image up again real quick.
You got it, man. Boom.
I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing. Maybe. So basically, right behind your head is a big wall. That's this guy here. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing.
You're just scratching.
This is like, it's a big, clean-looking ramp.
Yeah.
And it's almost 2,000 feet. Yeah.
I look back there to look at it, and it's not there over here. I'm like, oh, where is that?
Yeah.
I'm dense sometimes, right? Hey,
Yeah.
hey, you know that guy?
Right there.
There. God, I was looking so forward to seeing you guys out there at Baker. And then we had the Front Range, of course. Dude. Yeah. It is what it is.
We made the right call. Yeah, I was talking to Bob, and Bob and I really were the kind of corresponding factor there that I think finally got it to be canceled. Or the first decision was to delay it.
Yeah.
It was the right call, man. Like,
for sure.
It's a serious fucking virus that's actually killing people for real. And you know, the other thing, I guess it would be a funny segue into physiology or something, but reading up a lot on the pathophysiology of this virus, it's really interesting, actually.
Yeah. Let's
really
talk
interesting.
Yeah. Let's talk to my friends who are nurses and stuff, and I'm always picking their brains. Like, I'm really curious about this, how it mutates, how it, affects the lungs, and like how they treat it with. Yeah, let's talk about this let's talk.
Yeah. So I think for me, the most important message for younger mountain type people that might want to be rebelling against the situation is so in exercise physiology, the concept of VO2 max is a really critically important factor for your ability to climb mountains. Like you need to be able to consume oxygen to do mechanical work. And so the problem with the COVID-19 is if you end up with any kind of like serious illness, even if it doesn't kill you, you have a high risk of permanent lung injury.
Right.
So it basically kills the alveolar cells. And when those cells are killed off, they're not replaced. They're replaced with scar tissue. So you're, instead of having like microscopic sacs that are performing gas exchange, blowing off CO2, pulling in oxygen, you now have essentially like chunks of leather that aren't doing anything. So that's my whole thing about not catching this damn virus is it's like,
right.
I got a lot of mountains to climb, dude. I can't be fucking with that.
No, exactly. I'm with you. Selfishly, that's why I don't want to either. I was thinking like trying to find the silver lining. Both my parents passed last year, and I was their caretaker. And I was like, I wouldn't be able to go visit them right now. So I'm kind of glad they're not around for this. And a lot of older people are gonna not do as well as younger people. But still, like your point is very valid. Even if you do get through it, the damage you might sustain in your lung is going to take a lot out of your life moving forward.
To give you a numerical idea, like VO2 max, the average untrained sedentary male would have a VO2 of around 40, maybe even worse than that, depending. Like average, like semi-fit people, you might be around 50. What they get into like elite fitness is like 55 and above. And then there's like super elites, which are like people in the 70s and above. When I say these numbers, it's milliliters of oxygen consumed per kilogram of body weight per minute. And fittest I've ever been able to get is around 60, 65 milliliters. And that was like when I was doing a lot of trail running and mountain biking. And if you get a lung injury, even if you lose like five milliliters of capacity per kilogram per minute, that translates into a dramatic slowdown of your uphill travel capacity.
Oh yeah. Would you say in your case that'd be 12% if you? Yeah.
So
that's significant.
Aerobic fitness,
Yeah.
So yes. Yeah. So that's, for me, that's been the most important message with this virus. Like, you've got like a 1 to 3% chance of being killed by it if you're older than 40. Younger than 40, you probably won't get killed by it, but you could get seriously ill, and it could still really screw with you. So,
absolutely. That's a good takeaway. Yeah, I'll definitely highlight in the show notes. I always enjoy talking with you about this kind of stuff. I remember 3 years ago we were chatting about some really interesting stuff about one of your people you recommended, the doctor, about ghrelin, leptin, fat loss, and hunger, and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff.
That topic's really interesting. It doesn't ever fail to become not interesting.
I agree.
Or it doesn't ever become not interesting. I was actually are you familiar with the PBS broadcasting, like the network PBS? Like,
oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the show Frontline, PBS Frontline? They have, in 2016, they released an episode called, I think it's called The Truth About Fat. And if you get a chance to watch it, I really recommend it. It's the only public kind of media programming I've ever seen that actually does a pretty justifiable job of summarizing, the real physiology behind America's obesity problem. And it's so complicated, and it's so much more complicated than just exercise and calories.
Yeah,
for example, exercise, strangely, this is so contrary to every.
I got it pulled up right here. I'm going to put that in my show notes. And The Truth About Fat, Nova Special. Got it.
Pure
right
body
here.
weight. Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
I'm going to put that in my show notes. I got it right here. The Nova, Truth About Fat. I'll put that in there. Cool.
Yeah, not Frontline, is Nova.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Good. All right, we're on the same one. Yeah, it's fascinating because after I talked to you about that, 3 or 4 years ago, I started training some people through a bariatric program at the local hospital here.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that was it's a whole different mechanism what they're going through, right?
Yeah.
Their ghrelin and leptin is different, carb dumping, how they process and assimilate things. So our talk really helped spark that. And I went through there. You don't just walk in as a fitness professional and get to talk to these people. You have to get vetted. I had journals to study, and I became like the official trainer for Denver for that hospital, for that demographic. Yeah, it was great. It was such a rewarding thing. Everybody, I worked with 8 people that year. Each one of them, between the surgeries, the new nutrition, and the fitness, over 120 pounds. And more important than that, they were able to do stuff that they never thought possible, like climb up a mountain, not like what we're doing, but like up a hill and have a sandwich and cry and hug. It was beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the body's
the
amazing.
Thing is, it's really, the bariatric surgery stuff's I find really fascinating. Strangely, some of the newest research shows that, so there's a certain type of bariatric surgery they perform where they remove the top half of the stomach tissue. Strangely enough, that is a specific tissue that produces ghrelin.
Yes.
So the question then becomes, what's the mechanism for weight loss? And the easy answer is, it's fewer calories because they can't consume as many calories. However, it turns out through long-term statistics that fuel partitioning through changes in metabolic pathways are really the main, most powerful mechanism for weight regulation over long periods. And so if you're, let's say, you run a big study on obesity, and you do ghrelin assays, blood work on all these people, the research shows most of the time they have hugely elevated ghrelin, and that's even with proper nutrition. So they're not actually starving to death, but their brain thinks that it is.
Yep.
So if your whole body is just programmed for fat storage because your hormones are totally fucked, then you're screwed. It like doesn't even matter how hard you work on your diet, like you're just screwed. So the fascinating thing is this bariatric surgery, they're removing the tissue that produces ghrelin, and so they think now that that is actually the more powerful signal in the system to get people to lose 100 pounds of weight, you know?
Yeah.
So there's really interesting stuff now coming out. They're working on a ghrelin vaccine. They're going to see if they can use the immune system to sort of trick the body into wiping out, let's say, half of its ghrelin production on its own. So,
wow.
So yeah, obesity research is really nuts, but
it is, and I'm glad we could talk about this because
yeah,
it's interesting being a fitness professional and how many people in this profession don't understand how hormones play a huge role behind the scenes. Like you said, it's not calories in, calories out. It's not 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. That's on paper. Right? Like, that's not how things really work in the real world. There's so many other factors.
I mean, it's like calories are obviously the end. They're the very, very end of the chain in the system. And like calories are definitely important, but what people need to realize is like your daily caloric consumption isn't necessarily your choice. You know, it's what your physiology is telling your brain to do. And if your brain is like totally out of whack and in a starvation shutdown mode, then of course you're going to overeat and consume more calories than you're burning. And that obviously leads to weight gain. On the flip side, there's people that are what they call weight resistant. And I forget, I did know at one point that there's a series of genes, but there's a segment of the population, I think it's about 15 to 20% of the population, that physically doesn't ever gain weight. Like, and the reason for it isn't because of their lifestyle, it's because of their genetic makeup and how that interacts with their endocrine system. So it's
interesting.
I'd be really very cool. Curious.
Well,
I'm not one of those people.
You know what? I might be though. Like, I'm always 205 pounds, no matter what I do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, same here. I'm about that size.
Very similar builds, right? My whole family though was morbidly obese, 350 to 400 pounds, right? They could look at a cheesecake and gain weight. I ate cheesecake last night. Like, I don't gain weight, which is fine. I have the same waist I've had since junior high. I'm not trying to brag. It's just, but also I'm very active, you know, like you and I are very active people. We're very conscious with what we do.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot more to it than just burning calories, breaking a sweat, crushing the gym, like a lot more.
Yeah. Fitness is interesting. I've noticed that over the past 2 years, I've been bonking more than I used to. I don't know if you've had that experience at all. I think I'm having to, maybe it just has to do with getting a little older, being 35 and not 25.
Oh, you're so old. Yeah, so old.
But, like, I actually have to make sure I take food with me now.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's been a couple days where I'll, you know, like last year I went and did this just, like, solo sprint up to the slot couloir and just, like, sprinted out 5,000 vertical as hard as I could, like, redlining the whole damn time, and got back to the truck and I was feeling good. And then all of a sudden I fell off this cliff and I'm in the parking lot in my truck, just taking deep breaths because I'm having these waves of nausea. And then all of a sudden I like shoot out the side of my truck and I'm just like puking into the snowbank.
Dang.
And like, I was like, damn, maybe I went a little too hard today. Like, holy shit, you know?
Yeah.
Felt a lot better after I puked though. So.
Oh, I bet. You know, I can relate a little bit. I definitely need a lot of calories. I do intermittent fasting most days, just strictly for cognitive benefit. Like I wake up at 4 and I can just crush writing and work. But if I'm going to go do something physical, the mountain stuff we do, or a heavy strength training session, it definitely benefits me to have some fuel in the tank for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm also noticing, this is, contrary to what a lot of people believe, but high glycemic carbohydrates, specifically timed around higher intensity exercise. I think, I got into a conversation a few weeks back, somebody who was trying to convince me that an all meat diet was like the way to go for athletic performance.
Hey, I like meat, but that doesn't work that way.
Right. And I just mentioned, I was like, like if you take exercise physiology 101, you learn about your fuel systems. And one of the most important systems for high octane performance is your anaerobic glycolysis. And so the only way your body is going to allow, let me rephrase that. The only way your brain is going to allow your body to produce very high heart rate activities. Think of it this way. You've got this nerve bundle coming from your midbrain down to your heart. And so your brain has a direct control over how your maximal heart rate. One of the benefits of high intensity training is you can train your neuroendocrine system to allow your heart rates to go higher and higher. So you can tap into higher intensities in exercise. But the only way your brain allows that to happen is if it has a strong anaerobic system. And this is your glycolytic system. And anaerobic glycolysis is essentially, it's how your cells produce ATP in the absence of oxygen.
Yes, adenosine triphosphate.
Yep. It only works with carbohydrates. Fats and lipids just do not, you can't create ATP through glycolysis on fats. So that's one thing I think for athletic trainers, guys like you, I think this is a really important thing, is carbohydrates are really absolutely 100% your best friend if you're an athlete. And I'm not saying you should just go eat nothing but pancakes. It's not it at all. But if you can tap into strategic use of high glycemic carbs, one thing I've done is on my mountain biking lately, where I'll be normal training, I'll be kind of punching into zone 2 for baseline aerobic work. But if I'm trying to kind of increase my anaerobic threshold, I'll be punching into zone 3, zone 4, and then here and there zone 5. And what I'll do is I'll kind of carb up right before the workout. And then every 45 minutes, I'll try to consume about 100 calories of something like honey,
Yeah.
And personally, I've noticed it's a fundamental shift in not just how I feel, but my performance. If I do my heart rate analysis, I can function at a higher heart rate the entire workout. And this is 3 to 4 hour bike ride,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good feedback. I get in this conversation quite often because in my profession, a lot of the people train for the gym. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. That's good on you. You and I, people like us that listen to the show, training for outdoors, right? Yeah. We want to function out there. I don't care about a 45-minute HIIT class. I want to function in a blizzard on top of a mountain, have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's our fun place, right? And to do that, food, which is why I'm on board with my friends from 4 Points. They have some great bars and there's carbohydrates. And every time we're sampling bars, somebody who's keto will come up, well, I do keto. And I'm like, I'm great. Good for you.
Well, you shouldn't be. Yeah.
I'm like, that's great for seizures and epilepsy and stuff. But you want to do it for fat loss and you have other issues possibly to talk about. But food, fuel, real fuel. Often, that's how we get the job done.
It's got an accumulative effect too on your fitness. If you think about it this way, you have kind of what they call an energy bank in your whole metabolic system, and it's not just how many stored calories you have; it's about how many. Well, so obviously there's stored calories in the form of glycogen in your muscle cells and your liver, and then there's also stored calories in your adipose tissue. But there's also the endocrine energy bank, so to speak. If your brain has been trained to feel secure through exercise over a long period of time, and then all of a sudden you find yourself, let's say, way up on Mount Rainier, and ran out of food 6 hours ago. A storm has locked you down. It's blowing like hell. You're in a real survival situation. The person that's going to do better is somebody who kind of has metabolically prepared. And that doesn't mean like get, like loaded up on, get your body fat super high so you can survive long starvation periods. It's more like what kind of energy bank your nervous system can tap into. If you're already tapping into your deep reserves on a regular basis, and then you throw yourself into a survival situation, you fucked. Like,
it's plainly put, you're fucked.
Yeah. I've been pretty lucky in my mountaineering to not totally blow it. I think I've kind of blown it a couple of times, but whenever shit's really hit the fan, I've been able to have enough of an energy reserve to get out of there,
Yeah.
But if you think about it, let's say you're somebody that's a gym, let's say you're just a bodybuilder type, right? And you diet down and get your body fat to like 3%. And then you try to go be a splitboarder after that. And then it turns out you're out in Colorado and a blizzard ties you down for a day. Like you don't have the metabolic training to get through that properly, in my opinion.
I think I agree with you on that. And I talked to two people that one, Kyle Miller, I'm talking to him tomorrow, talked about having some more insulation and more reserve and stuff. And then my good friend Eric Frohart, retired Navy SEALs, dev group, badass. And the very first time we had coffee together, I mentioned I like to keep one run on the mountain, like a couple more reps in the tank, just because, right? And he was that same mindset, right? People who train to failure all the time are training for failure. And I'm okay with failing on business projects and being an idiot, but you shouldn't train. That's how I learn. I fail all the freaking time. Ask anybody. But yeah, I don't think you need to train to failure, right? So you just leave some in the reserve in the tank, and then you can adapt to these. What's going to happen? Some weird shit's going to happen. How are you going to handle it? So I agree with you on that for sure. Yeah.
I'm having to learn how to also pace myself too. I think when you're like Scottish and aggro, genetically aggro, you kind of want to crush all the time. Yeah. And my really good friend Hannah, she's one of my best friends. She just reminds me, she's like, Russ, man, like, just fucking chill, dude. Like, So she reminds me to like go back into that zone 2 place rather than pushing to zone 3 all the time or 4.
No, that makes a lot of sense. It's good to have people to remind us of that too. And I've learned too, when I train myself, I go into, I use the Moffatone method to like 220 minus your age. So for me, that's like, 41. So take away 41 from that. And I try not to train much past that. I mean, I can, but my goal is to recover, right? I want to recover.
So I will say this, research shows that you can actually break the mold of 220 minus age.
Please elaborate. I'm curious.
Yes. And this is where high glycemic carbs with your high intensity training kicks in. The more resources your anaerobic system has, the safer your brain feels and the more intensity your brain is going to create. So if you think about it this way, let's say you're driving your truck, right, down the highway. Like how much gas that engine is getting is directly correlated to how hard you're pushing your pedal down, right? But let's say there was some sort of limiter switch that only allowed you to push that pedal down 80% or maybe even only 90%. You're never able to really push it down all the way. And that's where low carb dieting really hurts athletes. And I find this stuff really interesting. Like Lance Armstrong, when he was at his peak, I think he was in his early 30s, he was still producing heart rates of like 210 beats a minute. Max heart rate. Like raw data, like 1 rep maxes on VO2 tests. I think I did a VO2 max about 5 years ago now, and I produced a heart rate max of 199, and that was about, let's say, 9 beats faster than my predicted max.
Right.
And then 2 years ago, I was doing trail run, and I got to a really steep section and just made the decision to sprint it. and like just give it an all out kind of 1 rep max, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got it up to like 197.
Wow.
So that tells me that in a couple of years, I still lost a couple beats of maximal heart rate, you know?
Yeah.
And that's expected with normal aging process. But, that, you know, like, I think also in the mountain climbing world, like in fitness and all that, like there's so many pathways that people's minds get stuck into. Like if you're an endurance athlete, chances are all you do is endurance training.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a strength athlete, chances are all you do is strength power.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I think a well-balanced training approach is key. You know, one of my really good friends, this dude Ian Holmes up in Canada, he's a awesome, super fit dude. And he made the point of like saying, if you're going to be a big range alpinist, of course you need that aerobic base, but you also need the raw strength. You know, so that goes into the balance concepts. You know, like you need to be able to generate actual force, you know, rather than just the miles. So.
Oh, as you're talking about that, I was trying to. I had a really cool thing I was going to show you or put up. My last VO2 max, I forget what it was. Like, we use a GE bone density scanner, repurposed it, and we got some cool metrics. You know,
cool.
But I don't want to misspeak and misquote stuff, and I can't find it on my computer. It's buried beneath a bunch of pictures of mountains somewhere. But I'll pull it up next time. But that's so fascinating, and it's true. Like, cross training outside of your comfort sometimes, and you know, these people like CrossFitters or whatever get stuck in one modality, and life is not one modality. Like there's so much to life.
I've got a lot of thoughts on CrossFitters.
Yeah, I think we both do. So
some of them are amazing athletes. They really are.
Yeah. I try to stay positive and say, you know what, whatever they do to exercise and feel good here and in their body, I'm happy. I'll the next chat, which will happen sooner or later, I'll pull that stats up so we can talk nerdy about that kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool to hear from you too, because you know you're quite a big celebrity in the snowboard community, and
very. Yes, it's funny you say that.
But you are.
I don't perceive that of myself, but
kind people usually don't, you know. So you're very humble about it, and I appreciate that. So let's talk about this mobile Karakoram office a little bit. Like, how are you guys adapting as a business during this time right now?
So that's you know, multi-$100,000 question, really.
Right. Yeah.
I think, you know, right now we're okay. Before this COVID-19 situation came, you know, we shoot as any business does in business to grow, you know, hopefully 10% a year, let's say. You know, any investor, you know, that's what you're going to shoot for. And I think this year we're making the decision to probably not grow. So far I've only had I want to say three orders cancel for next year as a result of this. You know, people place pre-books and then pull them back. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, it's a little bit of a volatile situation. We're super lucky in that we're a cyclical or like, you know, annual business. Like, you know, our cash flow comes in beginning late summer and goes through the winter, and then most of the spring and summer we're kind of in like production mode. So truthfully, like coronavirus couldn't have hit at a better time for Karakoram, because we're not being forced to ship orders out during, or you know, being forced to not ship orders out during a pandemic. Also our retailers did end up getting the majority of their winter business done by the time this damn virus came into the scene here. So, you know, there's a lot to be thankful for in that. I think that, you know, I really feel for a lot of people around the country. Like, we're like record unemployment. You know, I think this government stimulus is definitely good, but it's not going to fix hardly anything for majority of people. It's just a nice little check, but
yeah. And I think it's supposed to be deposited today, but we didn't get ours. And
yeah.
Yeah. So today is tax day, but I think they extended it by 2 or 3 months. But I'm glad that's going good for you guys. That's really cool. And you're right. It is towards the end of the season and people have bought gear, and I'm glad 3 orders canceled. That's nothing. That is incredibly good business for you guys.
Yeah. And so far we're all working from home. I'm coming up on I think the 4th week of not going into the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got its pros and cons. I think like there's a certain culture around being around your colleagues where you can like snap into a mode,
Yeah.
We're a cohesive group, and I think so far right now we're still pulling it off pretty well. But yeah, I mean, things could be worse. I just kind of enjoy the sunshine and.
Yeah, your office is pretty freaking awesome, dude.
My office, dude, got, it's just my Wi-Fi connection, and I get my key punching done. So
there you go. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. You're right. For a lot of people, I know as well, restaurant industry. I work in 3 gyms. They all close on the same day.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Writing with Engearment, there's some income right there. But the very first day when everything closed for me, I was like, oh shit, because I have 3 gyms on purpose. So I have a backup plan and then a backup plan, and my backup plan is like in home and stuff like that, and obviously you can't do it. Right. So the contingency plans for me all in one day, I had to pivot. So went home that night. I'm like, all right, this is crazy times, but you know what? It's crazy for everybody, and these people need the services. So that morning, I set up my first Zoom conference. I downloaded the software, and then made it work, right? And it's been working ever since. But a lot of people I know, that's not an option for them. And a lot of people are also mentally, they're stuck, and they're consuming a lot of news. They're consuming a lot of negativity in their environment. There's a lot of weeds in their environment, so to speak, and that a garden of weeds is not a healthy garden.
What is it? The statistics, like 60% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency, something like that.
Yeah.
I think like if this pandemic had hit a much earlier version of me, let's say when I was like 22, only splitboarding and living out of my truck, like 0 money in my savings account, like I'd be I was already going to the food bank then. So, but now you can't even go to the food bank because they've closed all that down. So, dude, I don't know. It's like a good reminder of like, shit, we got to be adults. It's time to adult behavior here and like make sure you have a little bit of emergency in your savings, and and also like, I don't know, being a little bit of a prepper can't hurt.
Yes, I was hoping we got to that. Yeah, we're gear freaks, man. I was like, oh shit, I get to use a bunch of fucking stoves and water purifiers now. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I have 3 crates over there in the closet just full of, I got solar chargers, I got this, I got that, and I don't need it right now, obviously. But it was kind of that first night I kind of MacGyverized and got drunk and I was geeked out. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fucking cool, But
it's kind of my truck. My truck's like my prepper.
Exactly.
I can be like, oh, if I need to get the fuck out of here, I can go. The zombies are coming.
Oh, I get it. My rooftop tent, and I got my 4-gallon solar, all my drinking water right there. I've got water purifiers. Got a little porch, little awning. It's all ready to go. It's there because I enjoy it all the time anyway, but now my purpose in it, a little bit of prepping, but you're right. And also we always have good food. We always have a bunch of sardines. We got rice, we got beans. And my wife, we built her a home office to work 1 day a week right before this happened. And so now she works in HR for a law firm, and they're not slowing down. Everybody needs to be sued. And
everybody needs to get sued.
So. I've been sued twice. It sucks, but I failed a lot, Russell. I fail a lot. I mess up and make bad decisions. But she's keeping busy, So we're prepared with it. Got the computers, got the food, the dogs. We got dog food, got dogs. We're good.
Yeah. I was really chuckled to hear that American gun sales have reached an all-time peak.
Yeah.
Gun and ammo. It's just like, fuck's sake, guys.
Seriously.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I've noticed, and hopefully you're noticing this in your community too, like the neighbors, we have 100 units in our complex. We live on Forest Street and there's trees everywhere. It's beautiful. People walking their dogs. Everybody's just a little bit extra friendly now. you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, we got an 85-year-old neighbor. She's out walking her dog. We're like, Pet, we're going to the store today. You need anything? Oh, I'm good. Thanks for thinking of me. All right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
real simple shit. We should all be doing this prior to this, but I think hopefully going forward, we take these tools and empathy.
Yeah. Yeah. Waving at police officers and they actually wave back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I took a selfie with a police officer. The first Friday when shit went sideways, he was going to get whipped cream for his fiance, and he's like, "Is this where the line begins?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you hold my can we take a selfie? Like, this is crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
Sick.
Yeah, I was like, "You should probably go to the Starbucks over there and check out and just skip this line. This line is 2 hours."
Totally.
But, yeah, everybody, we're all in this together, trying to figure it all out. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is a fun conversation, Ross. So it's just like anytime I see you, just like 1 hour flies by, and we've covered morbid obesity, splitboarding.
It's pretty, yeah. I have like pretty solid ADHD, so my thoughts are always.
Oh, well, I think
my head dances around a lot.
It's a good thing. It's all good topics.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say on the Engearment side, gear side of things, I was gonna plug in that next year's Jones Solutions pretty titties.
Oh, tell me more about it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've been riding the 2021 Ultra Solution and Ultracraft, and Ultracraft is sick. It's still the Ultracraft, but the Solution has been totally redone, and had a really good chat with Jeremy about it. And I have to say, I think it's the most maneuverable snowboard I've ever been on. Like,
got my attention. Let's talk about that.
The whole industry is going to like super wide waist widths, and Solution is still remaining true to being like a narrow big mountain board,
like 25.6 or something like that. With
oh no, Solution's like 25.4. Yeah, 25.5. Yeah. But there's taper to it now, so it's a little wider into the front foot.
Okay.
And it's got the 3D spoon technology.
Ooh.
But I have to say, man, like, fuck, that board is so goddamn good. Like, it dances.
Yeah.
It dances. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's powerful but playful, and it makes you want to put your snowboard into pocket transitions and new positions that you otherwise wouldn't, because you're having to plow through things. The snowboard wants to just like undulate with everything. I think it's a little, if I had to like give a criticism of it, I'd say it's a little bit soft.
A lot of
it's torsionally stiff, but the stiffness tip to tail, I think, could be 10% stiffer. But yeah, I
like stiffies. Yeah.
I'm a heavy dude though. So
yeah.
What's that?
What size are you riding?
The standard 61.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're what, 6 foot?
Yeah, 5'10", 5'11".
Okay, we're the same weight. And 161. Okay.
I wear a 9.5 or 10 boot. Yeah.
Okay. I'm 11.5 or 12. That's why I don't usually go for the standard width.
You go like 62 wide, probably. Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. I was impressed. I rode a 160 wide on the Never Summer Atom, and I was like, "That's the shortest board I've ever ridden." I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, short boards are good, man. I'd say like in technical splitboarding on deep, scary shit, short's good. You know. Yeah. And this is another topic I've always wanted to like chat about with people, is this concept of just snowboard width or splitboard width. I find that on really monster big days, like mostly thinking about the volcano days where, like maybe you've just started skinning at Paradise at 11 p.m. and you just climbed 9,000 vertical feet through the night, and you're at the top of this giant mountain, and the snow's just garbage. You have like giant sun cup things or the high altitude ice formations, and your legs are just fucked.
Yeah.
One thing I found is every time I do a really huge day like that on a wide snowboard, I end up just feeling worked, and I ride the mountain as cleanly or safely as I would have liked to. And I think it has to do with once those quadriceps are just trashed, having a narrower board that requires less leverage to put on edge is a huge advantage.
That's a good point. I had not thought about
like
that.
Maybe the performance side of it might not be as high. Like maybe, you know, I was thinking for a long time, like go wider because you can ride steeper angles on hard snow.
Not getting toast.
Especially especially those heel side turns. Like you don't want to boot out on a heel side edge on hard snow. But I'm learning that having more athleticism is a really huge factor for just safety and enjoyment. Yeah. You know, I definitely feel more athletic on a narrower snowboard. So that's just my personal plug to the industry. Like,
hey, take note, industry. The Russman has spoken.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just my thought. But
that's a great thought. No, I'm all about it. If my feet weren't big enough to go off the edges of the boards, for narrow boards, I'd ride a narrow board. Like the board behind me, it's not a wide board. My friend Adam made that. I'm going to be training him and his wife in the morning via Zoom. You know, it's cool that people in the community is like banding together and working together. But yeah, that's not wide at all.
Yeah. Sick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's which that in Oz?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Oz. Cool. And this is a custom one he put together. I think it's called the Fantasy Blaster. It's cambered at holes. You'd like it a lot.
Yeah.
But I haven't been on a Jones in like 3 or 4 years. So I'd love to check out just the 3D spoon.
It's pretty damn good, dude. Like I had my skeptical nature was I wasn't sure about it, but there's something to it, dude. It smooths out. What I'm noticing is at high speeds and like shit conditions, it just smooths everything out. Like you don't have the nose of the snowboard isn't being like yanked in all these different directions by all these tiny little ice balls.
Right.
It's almost like, you know, like to give a mountain biking analogy, like, you know, on modern forks, you have your like high speed compression, low speed compression, all this stuff, you know, fine bump sensitivity. That nose of the snowboard is like this really refined suspension system. And that's just exactly what it is. It's a tuned suspension.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
The spoon just gives you what I would use as an analogy, like fine bump sensitivity. You know, when a fork is really compliant on smaller, slower speed stuff, it gives you that little bit of softness, but then it ramps up when you lay into it. So,
I'm I'll reach it to Seth or to somebody or to Jeremy and see if we can get on one. Hell yeah. Well, Russell, this has been an absolute pleasure, man. I don't want to cut it short, but we need to do this again in a few weeks because we have a lot more to talk about. We've covered part of what we're going to talk about, but we got a lot to talk about. And, I'll have Kyle on tomorrow and tell me say hello. And
give him a good digital titty twister for me. Yeah,
I will. I'll just tune in Tokyo right there.
He's a good fucker, that one.
He is, man. The chat we had back in February, we actually talked for like 4 hours. I mean, I'm like, we talked about the Winter Soldier.
Awesome dude.
Oh, he's fascinating, totally fascinating. Just like you are, you know, we have good heart-to-hearts and a lot of love shared, and so it'll be a lot of fun to chat with him tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got a lot to say. He's an interesting dude. He's had a lot of life experience.
Yes, he has. We talked. Totally. We'll double down on that tomorrow. But it's been an absolute pleasure seeing your face.
Yeah, man.
Love you. Give my love to Rebecca and Neptune.
Cheers, bud. I'm Neptune.
Neptune. Here's Riley. Oh, he took off because dinner's ready. He's getting my food, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I eat it. Well, been a fun time, Russell. I'll put this up real soon, and keep staying safe. I love you. And
love you, bud.
You're the man. Talk to you soon.
Cheers, man.